What if I told you there's a small group of SUVs out there that have basically figured out the secret to biological immortality? I'm not talking about cars that make it to 100,000 miles and start sweating oil. I'm talking about absolute freaks of nature that treat 300,000 miles like a light jog and 700,000 miles like they're just getting their second wind. We live in an era of planned obsolescence, where your smartphone slows down after 2 years and your dishwasher is designed to die the second the warranty expires. But these machines, these were built by engineers who clearly had a personal vendetta against tow trucks. We're looking at the elite, the over-engineered titans, the SUVs that are physically twice as strong as they actually need to be. If you're tired of rolling the dice on an $800 monthly car payment for something that might leave you stranded on the shoulder of the interstate, pay attention. We've ranked the 7 most indestructible SUVs documented to hit the 700,000-mile milestone. These aren't just reliable, they are Consumer Reports approved, mechanically obsessed, nearly perfect legends. Number 7. The shocking legend, Honda CR-V 2nd Gen 2002 to 2006. Most people look at a small 4-cylinder crossover and think grocery getter. They think it's a disposable appliance meant to last until the kids graduate high school and then get traded in for a toaster. Those people have clearly never met the 2nd generation Honda CR-V. This thing is a freak of nature. While your neighbor is on their 3rd transmission replacement in their luxury Euro SUV, this little Honda is quietly humming along, probably on its way to the moon and back. The secret weapon here is the K24 engine. Ask any tuner or mechanic about the K-series and you'll see their eyes light up. It is one of the most balanced, low vibration, and thermally efficient engines ever put into a consumer vehicle. It doesn't just run, it purrs with a level of mechanical harmony that feels like it belongs in a lab, not a suburban driveway. There's a famous CR-V in Tennessee named Lorraine that officially passed the 1 million mile mark. 1 million! That's 16 lakh kilometers for those of you keeping track. And the kicker? It did it with the original engine and transmission. Here is why this is a match made in heaven for your wallet. The K24 has excellent oil flow and cooling passages that are wider than they strictly need to be. It stays cool under pressure and keeps its internals clean. But there is a catch, and it's a big one. This engine uses a mechanical valve train that requires a valve adjustment every 100,000 miles. Most owners forget this. They treat the car like a fridge and never look under the hood. If you skip that adjustment, the valves get tight, the engine runs hot, and it'll burn out way before its time. But if you spend that couple $100 every decade to adjust those valves, the K24 simply refuses to quit. It is a small engine with the heart of a marathon runner. Number 6. The American Tank, Chevrolet Suburban and Tahoe GMT 800, 2000 to 2006. Now we're moving from the scalpel to the sledgehammer. If the CR-V is a marathon runner, the 2000 to 2006 Chevrolet Suburban and Tahoe are the heavy-lifting construction workers that built the American workforce. We specifically need to talk about the GMT 800 platform. This was a golden era for GM, a time when they stopped trying to be fancy and just focused on being robust. This isn't a car-based SUV, this is a truck with a backpack, and it's built like a bunker. The heart of this beast is the 5.3-liter Vortec V8. In a world where modern engines have complex turbos, direct injection, and variable valve timing systems that have more sensors than a NASA rocket, the Vortec is refreshingly simple. It uses an iron block, it uses push rods, it's old technology, and that is exactly why it's a hero. Fewer moving parts means fewer things can go wrong. No overhead cams to skip a beat, no tiny turbo seals to leak, just 329 cubic inches of American muscle that wants to work. The engine will easily hit 700,000 miles without breaking a sweat. But let's be real, the rest of the truck has to keep up. The weak link is the 4L60E transmission. It's not a total disaster, but it's definitely the glass jaw of this heavyweight. You'll likely need a transmission rebuild every 250,000 miles. But here's the thing, rebuilding a Chevy transmission is cheap. You can find a guy in every town in America who can do it in his sleep. If you're willing to swap a transmission once or twice over the course of 30 years, that iron block V8 will keep pushing that heavy frame until your grandkids are old enough to drive it. It's a trade-off, mechanical simplicity for a bit of maintenance, but for a vehicle that can tow a boat and haul 9 people, it's a bargain. Number 5. The smooth operator. Lexus RX 350 and Toyota Highlander 2004 to 2015. This is the only pair on the list that feels like a luxury lounge on wheels. Usually, luxury and 700,000 miles don't belong in the same sentence. Usually, when a luxury car hits 150,000 miles, the air suspension sags, the electronics go haywire, and the repair bill costs more than the car's worth. Not here. The Lexus RX 350 and its mechanical twin Toyota Highlander are the exceptions that prove the rule. Their secret is the 2GR FE 3.5-liter V6. This motor is so legendary for its reliability and power delivery that Lotus, the British supercar company, decided to stick it in their million-dollar cars. Think about that. A supercar company looked at a Lexus SUV engine and said, yeah, that's the one. It uses a heavy-duty timing chain instead of a rubber belt, and the tolerances are so tight that these engines rarely leak a drop of oil even after 15 years of abuse. Why is this a match made in heaven for your wallet? Because most Lexus owners baby their cars. They get every oil change on time at the dealership. They park them in garages. But even if you don't, the engineering is so precise that the car doesn't care. It's a stealth tank in a tuxedo. To get to 700K, you just need to stick to synthetic oil every 5,000 miles. That's it. No fancy Italian tune-ups, no complicated rituals. These vehicles are famously leak-free and rattle-free. If you want to hit massive mileage numbers, but you also want quiet comfort, leather seats, and a sound system that doesn't sound like a tin can, this is the obvious choice. It's the most reliable luxury vehicle ever made, period. Number 4. The overbuilt beast. Toyota 4Runner 4th Gen, 2003 to 2009. All 4Runners are good, we know this. It's the official vehicle of people who like to go camping and never want to worry about getting stuck. But the 4th generation, specifically the one from 2003 to 2009, has a secret weapon that separates it from every other mid-sized SUV on the planet. The 4.7-liter million-mile V8, known to enthusiasts as the 2UZ-FE. This is the only V8 ever shoved into a 4Runner, and it is a masterpiece of over-engineering. It features a cast iron block that can handle heat and friction in ways that modern aluminum engines just can't. This is the exact same engine used in the Toyota Tundras and Lexus LXs that have been verified to hit 1 million miles. It's a body-on-frame design, meaning the body sits on a heavy steel ladder like a semi-truck. This makes it incredibly strong, but it also means the engine isn't working hard to move the weight. However, there is a catch that could turn your 700,000-mile dream into a total disaster: rust. While the engine is inkillable, the frame is not. If you live in the Rust Belt where they salt the roads like they're seasoning a steak, that frame can turn into Swiss cheese while the engine is still in its prime. You also have to change the timing belt every 90,000 miles. It's a non-negotiable tax you pay to keep the king of V8s happy. Do that and keep the underside clean, and this iron block beast will laugh at age. It is a vehicle designed for people who view pavement as an optional suggestion. Number 3. The Luxury Fortress. Lexus GX 470 and 460, 2003 to 2023. Imagine a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, a vehicle built for the Australian outback and the Sahara Desert, and then imagine it wearing a tailored suit. That is the Lexus GX. It's a stealth tank that most people mistake for a mall crawler. They see the shiny chrome and the soft leather and think it's just another soft crossover. They are wrong. Underneath that luxury skin is a heavy-duty off-road monster designed for a 25-year service life in the harshest environments on Earth. These are built at the Tahara plant in Japan. This isn't just a factory, it's a temple of quality. The tolerance levels for parts at Tahara are 10 times stricter than almost any other factory in the world. The workers there are master craftsmen who can detect a flaw in a paint job with their eyes closed. The GX uses either the 4.7-liter or the newer 4.6-liter V8, which are both under-stressed. They aren't tuned for high performance, they're tuned for longevity. They barely break a sweat at highway speeds. On American highways, a GX isn't even working. It's like using a nuclear power plant to light a single candle. The suspension is heavy-duty, the frame is thick, and the cooling system is designed to handle 120-degree desert heat. This is why you see them hitting 500K, 600K, and 700K miles with nothing more than basic maintenance. It's a match made in heaven for the person who wants a forever car that still feels like a premium experience. It's not just an SUV, it's a fortress that protects your bank account from depreciation and repair bills. Number 2. The High Mileage King. Toyota Sequoia 2nd Gen 2008 to 2022. If we are looking purely at the statistics, the Toyota Sequoia is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. A 2024 study by IC Cars looked at millions of vehicles and found that the Sequoia is the #1 SUV in America most likely to reach 250,000 miles, nearly 8 times the industry average. But 250K is just the break-in period for this thing. The second-generation Sequoia is a dinosaur in the best possible way. The secret is the 5.7-liter V8. This is a commercial-grade power plant. Everything about it is massive. The rear differential looks like it belongs on a dump truck. The transmission is the same one used in heavy-duty pickups. The engine is physically incapable of dying if you give it even a modicum of care. There are multiple documented cases of the Toyota Tundra, which uses this exact same engine and drivetrain, reaching 1 million miles with the original internals. Is it a total disaster at the gas pump?
Yes, it is a thirsty, hungry beast that drinks gasoline like it's free, but you have to look at the total cost of ownership. While other people are spending $5,000 on a new turbocharger or $7,000 on a complex hybrid battery replacement, you're just paying for gas and oil changes. You are trading fuel economy for absolute, unshakable certainty that the car will start every single morning for the next 30 years. It is the most reliable full-size SUV ever built, designed for the maximum durability possible in a consumer vehicle. It will outlive you. It's that simple. Number 1, the untouchable legend, the Toyota Land Cruiser 100 and 200 series. There was never any doubt. If you want to drive 700,000 miles through a war zone, a desert, or just the brutal potholes of the suburbs, there is only one answer. The Toyota Land Cruiser is not just a car, it is a piece of industrial machinery. It is a survival tool. It is the gold standard by which every other rugged vehicle on the planet is measured. Toyota doesn't engineer the Land Cruiser like a normal car. Most cars are designed to last 10 to 12 years before they start to fall apart. Toyota engineers the Land Cruiser with a 25-year service life goal in the harshest environments on Earth, places where a breakdown doesn't just mean a call to AAA, it means you might not make it home. Every bolt is oversized, every wire is extra insulated, every gear is twice as thick as it needs to be. The wheel bearings are massive, the frame is thicker than most pickup trucks. This is why you see 100 series and 200 series Land Cruisers all over the world being used as daily drivers with 700,000, 800,000, and even 900,000 miles. They don't just survive, they thrive. The engines, whether it's the old 4.7-liter or the 5.7-liter, are so understressed they are essentially coasting at 80 miles per hour. It's a match made in heaven for the person who wants the absolute pinnacle of engineering. The Land Cruiser is the king because it refuses to compromise. It's expensive to buy, it's expensive to fuel, but it is the only vehicle on this list that feels like it was carved out of a single block of granite. If you buy one of these, you aren't just buying an SUV, you are buying a legacy. You are buying the peace of mind that comes from knowing that no matter what happens to the world around you, your Land Cruiser is going to keep moving forward. It is the untouchable, unreachable, and undeniable legend of the automotive world. Reliability isn't a matter of luck. It's not about hoping you got a good one off the assembly line on a Tuesday morning. It is a direct result of engineering philosophy. These 7 SUVs represent what happens when a manufacturer decides that their reputation for longevity is more important than their quarterly profit margins. They are built for people who are tired of the disposable culture we live in. They are built for people who want to buy it once and drive it forever. When you're looking at these legends, remember the catch for each one. Watch for the rust on the 4Runner, don't skip the valve adjustments on the CR-V, budget for a transmission refresh on the Suburban. Do those small things and these machines will reward you with a lifetime of service that no modern plastic-filled crossover can ever hope to match. You'll be the one smiling at the 500,000-mile mark while everyone else is on their 4th car in the same time span. If this breakdown helped you figure out which forever SUV belongs in your driveway, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button, it really helps the channel get this honest info out to more people who are sick of expensive repairs. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the vehicles that actually last. And I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Which of these 7 would you pick to take to 700,000 miles? Or did I miss an indestructible beast that deserves to be on this list? I read every single comment, and your feedback is what drives the next video. Do your research, get that pre-purchase inspection, and remember, the best car is the one that stays out of the shop and on the road. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.